All right, hello everyone. So this is Pokemon Insurgence. It is a non-profit fan game developed by TheSuzerain and a full team of developers, actually, with artists, musicians. So I'm actually going to go ahead and press enter. And yeah, so essentially what I'm going to do is I am going to be creating a new game. But before I do anything else, I do want to change a few options. And let's actually change it to hard difficulty. Now, essentially, this game is a full Pokemon game. It has 8 gyms, of course. There's essentially the same story as usual, right? Or the same general formula. However, the story is actually quite a bit more fleshed out. There's a lot going on in it, and there are new Mega evolutions, which I'm really a huge fan of because I love Megas. And aside from that, there is also this thing called Delta Pokemon, which will be explained shortly. Now, the region is called Tauren, and so I'm actually going to overwrite this file. I had just started it. I just actually got Pokemon Insurgence updated from 1.2 to the latest version, 1.2.7, and the link will be in the description if you wish to play along with me as well. Now, the neat thing about Insurgence is that there are 3 difficulty levels, and within each difficulty level, the Pokemon that some trainers have changes. Trainers at the higher difficulties appear at a higher level as well. Outside of that, too, there's also 2 different types of stories. There's traditional, which follows like the same sort of a story that you might expect from a traditional Pokemon game, which means no really dark parts to it, no death. Those of you who have played traditional stories probably know what I'm talking about. Whereas dark is essentially talking about things that it's really the true story of Insurgence. Let me put it that way. Characters who are meant to die will actually die, and things like that. So, of course, we're going to be playing with the dark story. The game has detected 1 or more save files currently exist, and I do not want to skip the introduction, but I'm very glad that the update actually gives you that option. It didn't used to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up this cutscene a little bit, but you can actually see the Tauren region here. This is actually what it looks like. And it's pretty neat overall, right? You can see that there are some islands, there's a desert, and there's a massive tower with something on top of it. Maybe I made the volume too low for the music. There's some really nice opening music here. And we'll just say, as this is going on too, like, I really love the opening theme here. And essentially what's going on is this guy, this yellow-haired dude, is essentially like the leader of the Tauren region now. The augur is essentially referring to the person who will like protect the region from like threats and everything. Essentially like the leader of it. And so this guy has taken over because the first augur has disappeared. So Yeah. um, it's kind of wild, actually. At this time, you should have seen the opening cutscene. And so now here we are. We're at this little stage where you can see a Gengar in the background. We're asked if we want to do a challenge run of the game. Now, that includes things like Nuzlocks, randomizers, solos, egglocks. We're not going to do any of those. What we are going to do is actually just a nice casual playthrough on hard difficulty. And then I think in the future, I would like to do a randomizer in this channel as well. So let me go ahead and type in my name. It is DarkJ. And I am going to be playing as a boy. Now, I'm not using my real name here, of course. DarkJ is not my real name. But yeah, aside from that, I will be actually customizing my character as well. There is character customization going on. So yeah, essentially what happens is we're in this little room and there's these dudes who are dressed as Darkrai. So there's going to be a sacrifice after the child's memories are gone. What do you plan to do with them? Kill them, of course. Of course, right? Like why? Well, the cultist is going to essentially say my question. Why would you bother to wipe memories if you're just going to kill them? But yeah. So yeah, there's a ritual that's going to be happening. And there we go. My computer terminal is giving a few lines of output that say dead beef on there. I mean, isn't all beef dead? All right, well, let's get going. You can see that we have a Mew. And if I actually open up, game has detected that the battery is low. Should save soon. My computer's at 78%. I don't know what's happening there. Okay, let's change that to hard again. Just making sure that everything is all good to go here. Let me actually up the volume a little bit. Okay. Double check to make sure. Yep, it's saved. Good. Yeah. Good. So I can press V to quick save. I do want to get out of that speeding up. Let's toggle auto run so I can now run. And the next thing I want to do actually is look at my Pokemon. And you can see, yeah, I actually do start with a level 65 Mew, with it being, I am its original trainer. That's pretty wild. Yeah, we're at the start of the game, and we have a Mew already. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up some stuff around this base. Now, it'll make sense why we have a Mew in just a minute, actually, too. I do want to pick up a few things as we go along. Now, although I am familiar with this game, I have not done a full playthrough of it, ever. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that as time goes on. So Mew has the ability to transform, and yeah, we know that Mew can transform just like Ditto. But unlike Ditto, Mew can also transform me. That's pretty neat. So what we're gonna do is head up these stairs, and oh wow, this is the water here looks a lot different than it did in 1.2 itself. Again, this is an updated version of the game. Wow. So yeah, let's get DNA of Darkrai cultist, and now watch this. If I talk to Mew, I can transform into a Darkrai cultist. So now I have a Darkrai costume. Now, why we didn't steal a costume, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I have a Darkrai. I'm essentially transformed into a Darkrai cultist now. So I guess I'm not quite as short as I would be if I had just stolen a costume. But okay, so let's go ahead then and open this door. And there are a few other items here that I do want to pick up. There are a bunch of healing items that are going to help out a lot. Again, we're playing on hard mode, and I have watched the beginning of Pokemon Insurgence and about the second half of it um, in a playthrough by another YouTuber. It's a really good game overall. And so, kind of with that, but he was playing on normal mode, normal difficulty. And so I want to challenge myself and play on hard mode. I know that normal is actually pretty hard to begin with, but you know, who's not up for a challenge these days? I was doing a playthrough of one of the games, and I'm honestly just keep finding it difficult to stay like under leveled. And I like playing games when I'm under leveled because they really cause me to think a little bit more about strategy. So anyway, you swore that when you joined that you would give your life for us. How is this any different? Um, yeah. So the leader of the Darkrai cult is offering the soul of one of her grunts, and something is awakening. Okay, so the game is currently lagging a little bit, but that's okay. I'll just cut out a little part of that so that it saves you a little bit of time. All right, are we back? Yeah, we're back. Okay, neat. So that took a little bit longer than I was hoping for. I'll cut everything out though. You won't see any sort of like lagging with it. But yeah, Darkrai is here. And so, Darkrai, you are the great balancer of the world. You punished the great and slay the immortal. It's been a year since I saw you last. Yeah, they apparently the Darkrai cult accomplished something incredible a year ago, but Darkrai didn't care. uh, yeah, so this is actually pretty wild already. I mean, look at this. We got two legendary Pokemon just at the beginning of the game, Mew and Darkrai. Yeah, and here's something that that we wouldn't see in a traditional Pokemon game either. Is that in a traditional storyline, uh, we wouldn't have this happening right here. You wouldn't see a cult leader killing two of their grunts using Fire Blast, or even sacrificing. Probably not sacrificing their grunts either. Let's go ahead and save. Now that we got through that cutscene. And yeah, now we can exit out of the base. So let's go ahead and do that. And I apologize if my commentary is a little bit kind of weird for this portion of the game. I've played through the introduction a lot, honestly, and I just kind of want to get through it. I'm gonna be really excited for it though once we get out of this little introduction stuff after we have our starter and everything. And so here's our first wild Pokemon. Unfortunately, we cannot catch it. We can battle with Mew if we want to. I don't really see a reason to. I mean, wait, what the heck? This guy wasn't always here. Wow, okay. So this is kind of the neat thing right now too, is I'm actually finding out a bunch of new things about this game right now. Because again, as I've been saying, there was a an update for it. Um, and I hadn't updated the game originally because I wasn't quite sure what would happen to the save file. Because I had already actually started a playthrough and everything. However, with the battles crashing and stuff, I did actually decide to finally update the game overall. Um, and so, yeah, I had to restart the save file itself anyway. But I'm actually finding out all of these new changes. The world actually looks quite a bit different right now than it did in the older version that I had. So yeah, this kid's asking if we had a tiny pink Pokemon near us. Nah. um, yeah. So I'm actually finding out all of these new things about the game with you guys as well. All right. So yeah. So Damien wants me to go to the town hall. Hi, Pikachu. Oh, hey, another potion. I'm gonna need these. I'm gonna need potions like crazy in this game. So yeah, let's go into town hall. Damien has finished cleaning up the road, and yeah, okay, neat. So I don't have to do any sort of cleaning. Damien forgot his gift. You better find one and fast. Need a Pokemon. No, absolutely not. Not a chance. He's still just a child. Like, I mean, 10 years is when most people get their Pokemon, and I don't know what kind of logic that is, but Damien's just kind of sitting here fighting with her. Irresponsible, antisocial, and you can't even what. Yeah, I have indeed handled a Pokemon before. So I don't actually know who this guy is, whether he's like Damien's adoptive father or something. Um, but yeah, he wants me to help Damien out. So we both have to go get a Pokemon, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the laboratory. And you can actually see there's quite a bit going on in this town. There's actually a decent number of people in here as well. It's actually a fairly big town, especially for a starting town. There's not only like 3 buildings, there's tons of them. But anyway, let's go inside the lab. Listen, Professor, these Pokemon, they're freaks. No other trainer would want them, and we can't keep them any longer. We already keep a bunch of Eevee as is. Okay, so it seems like there's some sort of drama going on here. And of course, Damien's just going to interrupt it. This guy doesn't seem to care. Just give them to these kids. Okay, so I guess we're going to have more choices than just Eevee. That man was one of my colleagues, and he's the leader of the Cult of Perfection, which we'll learn more about them later on. Have you ever heard of something called Delta Species? I have, but Damien hasn't, so yeah, the professor is going to explain anyway. Really, the big thing about Delta Pokemon is that they're similar to like Alolan or Galarian form. So essentially, as the professor is saying, you can get things like different types of Pokemon that we already know. Now, the first 6 generations of Pokemon exist in this game. So that means that there's going to be tons of Deltas, tons of Megas, and we get to start off with either choosing one of these 3 Delta Pokemon or a normal Eevee. And Damien wants us to go first. So let me go ahead and turn. And here it is, Delta Bulbasaur, Fairy and Psychic type Pokemon. And it looks pretty neat overall, too. I wouldn't say that's my favorite out of the 3 Delta Kanto starters. I actually really like Delta Charmander. It's a Ghost and Dragon type. And then, of course, we have the Ninja Squirtle, Dark and Fighting type, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? So yeah, the question then arises, do we want an Eevee or do we want one of these three? I'm going to go ahead and go with an Eevee. There we go. We have an Eevee. And you can see we actually have Pokemon following us now too. Now, you're probably screaming at your screen right now. Why didn't you go with one of the Deltas? They're new. Eevee is boring. And I will admit, Eevee is pretty boring for the majority of the game. But we also get that many more options with it too. And you can actually see we're starting at level 7. So while I'm beating up Damien's Eevee, I'm going to go ahead and keep talking here. So Eevee is a fairly boring Pokemon, right? There's not really too much that it can do. It's just a standard normal type that's not really all that strong. You can think, yeah. But okay, I'm gonna stop here because I need to focus on what I'm saying. So essentially, Eevee has so many options for what it can evolve into. And so that's going to free up a lot more later. There's a huge Pokemon selection in this game in regards to things like Deltas and Megas and new Pokemon overall. So I actually want to have a few old Pokemon to start off with so that as we come across those, we can actually have a good team of 6 that I'm going to be wanting to play this game with. And I'm anticipating that that team is going to be changing considerably throughout the entire game. But we'll do with what we can. We will want to try to get a full team of 6 as soon as possible. This is not a game that you just want to have one Pokemon in. Yeah. So good. Damien rushed off, and I get a Pokedex. Nice. So now I can go up to the north into Talnor Cave, and that is not where we started, actually. We have to go through the forest again, but we did not start off in Talnor Cave. We started off in the Darkrai cult base. So let me just speed that up. Essentially, all we got were Pokeballs. And yeah, let's go ahead and check out this Pokemon Center. You can see it's actually pretty neat. There's the Pokemart person, Nurse Joy, of course. I do want to heal my Eevee. I don't know if we got healed after a battle or not. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I do want to buy some more stuff. I'm going to buy 4 more potions. I'm going to buy 5 more Pokeballs. And I'm going to actually buy a couple of repels too, and an antidote, just in case. All right, so we're all set to go now. So let's go ahead and head north into Talnor Forest, Shade Forest, sorry. And you can see that our path has now opened up on the left. Ugh. First encounter would be a Patrat, however you say it. There's something on the ground, a Dex Nav. Can we, no Pokemon data was found in this area. Catch Pokemon to have them appear here. Okay. So the one thing I do actually want to do right now is I do want to actually register the Quartz Flute. And you can see we can actually register it to, 5 different keys. So we can actually register like the Quartz Flute, the bicycle, and some other key items as well. So that's pretty neat. Unfortunately, I can't transform to a Darkrai cultist right now. But you know, that's fine. We don't need to do that. All right, so I'm actually going to go ahead and end this video off right now. In the second episode, in the next episode, we are going to actually head north to the Talnor Cave. We'll go through the forest, head into the cave, and see how far we can get after that. So thank you for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Pokemon Insurgence. I'm really excited to play this game and finish it for the first time ever. So leave a like if you are excited for this, and also make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you do not miss any more of these episodes. Until next time, have a great rest of the day, everyone.